Guys, thank you so much for your patience and for being here this evening, this Tuesday. You could be doing anything, but you've decided to be here. So really, really appreciate you all. Can we just start with a little icebreaker? Um, and also, I'm just conscious that Laverne and Lorraine, although they both begin with the letter L, they don't know each other. So it's very important that we just have a little break of the ice. So if we could all just say your names, and we're going to get to talk about what the business things that we're doing. So just something that you're grateful for this week, or it could be last week as well. Anybody, feel free to go first.
Well, I'll go. So yeah, my name's Portia. And what was the question? One thing I'm grateful for.
Mhm.
I'm grateful for just, the blessing of being able to do what I do on a daily basis. Meeting wonderful people, yeah, I'm just grateful for the new experiences. So we're very, very grateful. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Portia.
Hi, Lavin. I'm Lorraine,
Hi,
and
Lorraine.
nice to meet you, and
Nice
nice
to meet
to
you.
re-meet you again, Portia. Um, this week I'm grateful for, I would say, the encounters that I had. You know, sometimes when you're kind of like going through stuff in terms of even just figuring yourself out through business, figuring yourselves out through, wanting to better yourself, and then you just so happen to meet somebody who questions you and makes you believe certain things that not that you didn't believe in them, but just changes your mindset in terms of how you see things. So, and just affirming that, I guess this applies to everyone, just affirming that as women, and women trying to break into business, women trying to do certain things, we have certain limitations that we have put up on ourselves, not necessarily as individuals, but also because society has long before put those limitations. And as we go into the spaces, we don't see ourselves based on probably, the knowledge, the skill sets, everything that you have. So yeah, I then met somebody who just you know, spoke about that, but reinforced it in a positive way to say, as women, as we go in and do all these things, we need to take up space in this way. And she was just able to, talk me through how you can take up space without necessarily, being too much, as women would think they're being too much. But she was like, when men do the same, it's confidence. So I'm grateful that I met that person and they spoke to me in a way that actually, yeah, gave me a positive start to the week.
That's powerful. Thank you.
I'm happy to go next.
Okay.
I think I'm grateful for it's. I guess it's last week. So I don't know if that counts. Yeah.
Of course.
Um,
Absolutely.
but I'm very grateful. So my friend Abby, we used to work together, and some of you know, some of you I don't know. I kind of put my business idea on hold for a little bit. I was trying to figure out a few things, and Abby's always believed in me. Abby's like, you can do everything, LaFan. And I was like, I can't do everything. I have to look up some stuff. I have to research. She's like, but you always find a way, always find an answer. And last week she reached out to me. She was like, I need you to help me launch this new product. I need you to do this. She's like, that's basically what your new business is going to be. She's like, I'm going to be your first client. She was like, and you're going to do it. And I was like, I, well, and she's like, no, no, no. She's like, you can do it. I know you can do it. We're going to do it. Let's do it. And so far, it's been going really well.
Excellent.
So in terms of working together, planning it out and stuff. And I think sometimes I think what you need is someone to go, no, you can. I need you, so you will. Let's do it. Do you know what I mean? And then they just make you get up and just go. So I think sometimes I don't know about other people, but I need a bit of a kick in the bum.
That's beautiful. That's great. And all the best with that.
Well done.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy to go next. I think for me, I've learned something that's quite powerful, and that is that the distance between what I'm thinking and what I'm doing is getting quicker. So like that sort of like that's where the delay is, right? I'm thinking about something, but if I can reduce the gap between, can we just get on and do that thing, then most people don't do that. So you're like many steps ahead of others that are what we know as procrastination, you know. So it's like there's Mel Robbins that talks about the 5 second rule, but it was just a profound video similar to like what you were saying, meeting someone or being in contact with someone, and just recognizing we are more than capable by God's grace of doing what we are set out to do. And so yeah, I'm just really excited about seeing when I put my hand to something, the turnaround for that, and the effect that has on whatever I'm working on. So that's been my epiphany moment this week.
Great.
Is it me now?
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video. It's
Yeah.
really good. It's only like 2 minutes, and I'm like, girl, you done changed my life.
So it's me, Alexis, for the video purposes. What am I grateful for? I think I'm grateful for the spirituality that I have, that I naturally feel in terms of like building relationships with people. I've been very lucky. I've had a lot of good people around me always supporting me, and I'm grateful for that, because sometimes in life that's quite hard to get. And yeah, I just say a lot of support from people has been probably number one for this week, I think. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Keep it simple.
Yeah, thank you all so much. But for the time being, I did send you all round some pre-questions just to get your minds thinking if you wanted to do that. Some people may just be like, have all the answers now, but sometimes it's nice to think about it. Did that work for anybody, me sending it a little bit earlier?
I was gonna say I looked at it, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna admit this. I wasn't really sure. I understood the premise of what you're saying, but when I thought about it in terms of like myself, I was like, I'm not sure how I would word that. So I was hoping you might have an example you'd give us to kind
Absolutely.
of talk about. Thank you.
Yeah. So it literally it was just like, you know, a guide of what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to take us properly through it.
Okay.
So, first of all, Laverne, thank you so much for your question with regard to, like what do these questions, how do they relate to us, and why have I brought them through? And really, we'll find out how beneficial these questions are as we talk about them and we see. And it might need adapting. It may be that it's not pitched correctly. It may be that. So your feedback is so valuable, so that these sessions are beneficial to all of us. So what we've shifted Knights of the Round Table to is more of a coaching setting, where each business is able to reflect on their own position, and then whatever questions come up, thinking about for themselves. So we can all make our own individual progress and really make that hour count. Obviously, it's great if we've got a presentation, of course we can take 20 minutes to listen to a presentation and give feedback on that as well. But this was a model that I wanted to check and test it out and see how it goes. So the reason for these questions is, are we actually building a business, or have we got a platform for an ego? So is it that we're actually looking into what our business is capable of doing, or are we just like making random posts and we haven't really got a plan? So are we thinking deeply about what we're doing? Is there a strategy behind what we're actually doing in our work, or are we busy doing not much? I need to go here, I need to be there, I need to do that. But is it actually moving your business forward? And then the final reflection point for this part is, are we collaborating with others, or do we think that we are, or are we working in silo? So that's really where these questions have come from, to get us to think about where our business is at. And hopefully over this journey, we can start to, when we're in a safe, psychologically safe place. I just want to just stipulate that as well, that everything that we say here, it is to uplift one another. And even if, you know, we have disagreements, we are respectful in the way that we communicate with each other, and we're thinking about how our points are received. So that's just one thing, you know, as a value, respect is really, really important. So Laverne, can you just tell me, does that help a little bit with,
You know what? That makes so much sense, because I was thinking you have to do stuff to make the strategy happen. What do you mean by strategy and activity? But as soon as you said, are you just doing stuff, just posting, and you're not going to the plan? I went, okay, cool. It kind of like clicked in. Sorry, I was having a bit of a moment of not putting the pieces together.
It's really good to ask these questions, and it might be like everyone's thinking the same thing, but just one person says it, you know. So please keep those questions coming, and like, I can't see you guys, so please just shout at me whenever you want to jump in, right? Because I literally can't see you. I feel a bit lonely now. I feel like I'm just talking to my computer, which is bonkers. But anyway, right. So the first set of questions that I sent through really got me thinking. Yeah. And yeah, are we just like being busy? Are we just being busy, or are we making progress? And I think one of the questions that stood out for me is the final one. If I remove 30% of my current activity, what would remain essential? So I'm going to open up the floor now. I feel like I've been talking for far too long. So on that note, I'm going to open up the floor. Was there anything for these questions that anybody wants to share?
I want to share something. So regarding strategy and reflecting upon like how I've kind of operated in the past, I actively made a conscious decision that the starting of this year is gonna be a slow paced to move into a strategy plan that's gonna work going forward. So hence, like I've looked at the quarters a little bit more to see what kind of goals I want to achieve for that quarter, how I'm achieving it month by month, you know, what's being ticked off, what's not being ticked off. So I think that's worked really well in terms of just taking time out to start the year fresh and not with a busy kind of, I have to do this, I have to do that, you know. And I think that's how we could sometimes start the year, because we think we need to be everywhere and, you know, to get noticed, to do this, to do that. So yeah, I think there's a clearer strategy personally for me, like going forward in what I'm doing.
Mm. Mm. Can anyone else relate to that with regard to strategy, or has anyone got any tips from what Portia said?
Yeah, definitely. I guess for me, it's been doing lots of activity. So when I looked at it, and strategy is the bigger picture, and you have to do the activities to get to the bigger picture. So you know the deliverable is the strategy, but how to do, well, how to facilitate the deliverable will be the activities. And I think from what Portia said, for me, it's been picking three things instead of having the 20 things on a list. I decided to pick things, and I said,
Mm,
let's at least see these three things through. So
mm,
that's the strategy. Obviously, each one of those has an end goal. So then you work backwards to get what those activities are. But it could still do with some fine tuning, because when you really look at strategy, it's like there's a lot packed in there. So it's the definition for your particular business, what works, or what would be considered a success. So then what strategy reflects success in your particular venture? So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting, and the fact that you use the number three as well. Though I know that links in with the way that I know that Portia works as well. So I don't know if that you've heard that before or something, but I thought that was
No, no, I didn't
well,
know that.
wow, yeah. So
Oh,
that's really
interesting.
interesting. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. No,
Mm.
it's just something I picked three because it's like three looks okay. It's not overwhelming. So if you can stick to three things, and you'll have maybe Q1 is for easing yourself in, and then Q2, Q3, and Q4 you can, do what you need to do and deliver. So maybe, I don't know, subconsciously I just picked three.
Mm. I just want to say as well, just as a recommendation, there's a book called The 12-Week Year, and it's on Audible as well. So if this is something that you want to think about more with regard to just sectioning off your year, because what the book talks about is lots of people in business will be like, it's January. We still got the whole year to go. So we take it really easy. And then August is really can be quite quiet times. We take it easy. We still got, the rest of the year going. And then it's like November, December, and then there's this real push to get those figures in. So it kind of acts as in reverse, whereby you're now planning on a 12-week basis or a quarterly basis, which also aligns with what Portia said. So I just wanted to add that as well.
Thank you.
thank you.
Mm. Any other questions or that anybody wants to take on this screen? Yeah, where are you measuring effort instead of impact? Or are you?
Hmm.
I had to think about that one. Where am I measuring effort instead of impact? Again, looking at past experiences of the patterns of what has always been done, and how much effort it was taken, like to do it, so to speak. And like I said, strategically doing things a little bit different now, I'm able to measure the efforts I'm putting in and the impact that it has. I hope I'm making sense here.
You are.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the difference in terms of I could put less effort to get a higher return because there's key plugins that is doing the work for me without me having to you know, put all that energy, put all that time, put all that focus. Yeah, I'm just learning to think differently about how I'm putting in clear systems to make things work more effectively. So yeah, for me, it's showing through just like systems like the social media side of things. I'm learning how to use that a little bit more to get the results that I need back from people, you know, and I'm learning how to key people who's been in the midst of Nurse Academy. I'm learning how to tap into them a little bit more because they've got, you know, the right people around them. So rather than me trying to do that vast message across by myself, I'm learning how to just tap to say, okay, cool, to connect the dots basically.
No, that's interesting. So you're leveraging the links that you have established over the years to now increase the impact, and it's less effort for you, and more people are doing things on your behalf. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because like you said at the beginning about not doing things on your own, like, you know, and it's so easy to just get on with it by yourself, but yeah, there's you're great in numbers, isn't it? So yeah.
Mm. Anyone else want to come through? I really like this question. I'm going to actually take the presentation down for a minute. What are you doing because you've always done it? That's a good one. What are you doing because you've always done it?
I'll jump in on that one only because I think it links back as well to maybe what Portia said, and I was just thinking about how it aligns with what I'm trying to do as well. So when you think about how businesses work, sometimes people approach you. You could be working on a contract basis. You could be working on charging people based on what you're being asked to deliver, or you're charging on a day rate. And somebody said that in itself, the fact that you've got an offering, well, or a set of skills that you can use, but because you have to tailor it all the time when you get inquiries, that actually takes a lot of time when you're trying to chop and change and tailor what the company needs, or what the company that's or the client needs. So what they were saying is you could actually reduce that amount of time, the mental energy that goes into figuring that out, by actually creating again those systems. So if someone comes to me and they want me to deliver this, you should have sort of like a standard contract that already has the number of hours involved in delivering this sort of work. And then if the work comes, a little bit slightly above, or even if it comes below, you're not moving your prices. That is the package. So having those packages or those things tailored way before, it helps in terms of the amount that you then spend sort of creating. So for me, I found out that's something that I do every time work comes in. I have to figure out what's this contract worth? Whereas if I had a bog standard package, I wouldn't have to be putting work in there, because you're going to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, and the outcome, regardless whether it's 50 people, 20 people, it's still going to be the same. So at least it's easier to scale it when you have the standard package. So that's something that I'm still doing, which I think could be improved.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So finance is something that I'm really passionate about it, but what I've noticed is that I've really been undercharging for like my work and not appreciating my value. And so that is something that is stopping right now. And the way that I see it, like following on from what you said, Lorraine, like our prices are our prices, and if an organization can't pay those fees, then that's not our client. And it's taken me a while because of, like, I've gone through this phase of like needing to or wanting to get the foot in the door first. But you get your foot in the door and getting paid pennies, they're always going to think they can pay you pennies. So it's better not to go through that door, as far as I'm concerned. And so I'm definitely with you with regard to having structured pricing, and also what's been really good with AI, looking at, right, okay, how much is it that we want to make over this period of time for this particular project? What is the end goal? And then, like you said it, working backwards. You know, I know this is what I want to take away from this project, and this is the rate, whether it's a project rate or a daily rate, whatever it is, that's all incorporated. We can really leverage AI to get us to be quite brutal. I always tell my one's set up to be brutal with me anyway. I'm like, you want me to cry or something? I don't know what that thing does. He's just always telling me off. It's too cheap, you know. So it's like it makes you sit up because it's an assistant that's on your side. So if I would recommend that as well, Lorraine, to what you said. If that's what you're doing, you could potentially run those ideas through AI, see what the going rates are, make sure that you are at least at that, if not higher, and you are happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, you just said something there, because I've just had an aha moment in terms of scope. I think it's also kind of determining the project scope, and you can use AI to say what would you say is the average scope of this project, and then sort of take it from there. And yeah, you're right, because now AI can give us an average time of how long a project would take to deliver, and then I guess that way it's actually a good tool in terms of helping us to price, helping us to evaluate length of time, like in terms of deliverables. Are you able to deliver this in a month, in 2 months? So yeah. Thank you for that, Kemi.
Pleasure.
I'll just jump in there, Kemi. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Yeah.
Lee.
Hi. It was just on that. So exactly what you said of, like, if people are not willing to pay the price, they're not your client, 100%. And it is, the kind of people we are. We want to help everyone. But I recently had a project that was a really good daily rate. And I even then still underpriced it because I didn't appreciate the amount of effort, because it was a daily rate but spread hours over days. It took longer than what I needed, and he needed a suite of documents, and then that turned out that he needed a suite of documents to support that suite of documents, and the client that he was trying to win kept coming back with questions. So probably I gave him about 3 days for free. So just on that, I would always say, somebody just said there, overprice. And then if anything, you can say, as a first-time client, you can have 10% off, and that meets your actual rate. But yeah, don't feel no way to bulk it up, but don't even think just because you're getting such a good rate. Think about what you said, Lorraine, the scope. But the scope can always creep, and you've got to allow for that in that fee. So you've got skills, and they're worthy skills, and price accordingly. I'll definitely say that.
Thanks,
It's my
Lee.
little 2 pence.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm gonna just move to the second set of questions, unless anybody wants to add anything. So I'm just gonna show it again. Okay. So yeah, okay, lovely. So this is kind of following on from the last, what we just talked about. What must you deliberately stop in order to scale. That's one that really pops out for me. What opportunity are you avoiding because it requires visibility or risk? That's a really reflective one for all of us. If you had to double revenue with half the time, what would you prioritize? So feel free to take any of those questions that might stand out for you. What I would say, I just want to start us off while you're thinking, what I must deliberately stop in order to scale is to stop saying yes. Yes, oh, I can help, I can do that, I can, because it has been to my detriment for many, many years of being the person that can. Yes, I can, but when I am giving, I am taken away from my own dreams and aspirations. And again, it's taken quite a while to get to this place. And sometimes I'm like, oh, Kemi, you're getting a bit selfish these days. But actually, no, I'm not. I'm looking after myself the best way that I can. And I want my family to be blessed by the skills that God has given to me. And I think I'm in a better place to help people when I've actually helped myself first. So I can then genuinely be like, I can reach out my hand because I've got something in there to give to somebody, rather than everybody's just dragging each other along and we're not quite sure where we're going. So that's just something that, I wanted to share whilst everyone's having a think about what they might want to say at this stage.
You're on mute, Portia.
Oh snap. Hello. Yeah. I said I'll
I thought everyone was just like zoning out. Sorry.
No, I'd say I definitely agree with you on that, kind of setting the boundary, um, like for how much you're gonna take on, and like allowing yourself to be taken care of first, because that's so important, and I think in the past I haven't always done that, set the boundaries, because I'm always like, yeah, I could do this, but it's left me at a detriment. So I've set boundaries now, like to say, okay, if I'm saying I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm not going outside the box until this is done, and I'm kind of sticking to it, which is I'm seeing the evidence and the results of that it's working, and it's something that I should have done way back there, but it's like they say, it's never too late. So hence, like, it's time to put the focus on the now, the present. We've just started the year fresh, so it start as you mean to go on, like they say. So yeah, just setting clear boundaries, saying no, like, to the things you don't need to be in, because you don't always need to be the savior. Like, give people the opportunity to rise and shine as well. Yeah, so yeah, and that way you could work collaboratively and together to get that results that is needed, for the bigger picture. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's why, like, that's something that I've learned. This probably doing coaching has made me wake up, because it's like every single one of us has the capability to do what is within us. We all have it, and sometimes it takes being in a certain situation yourself, rather than being saved or pulled out of it, or someone else is doing it for you to actually break that mold, break that cycle. Yeah, so I just wanted to agree with you on that. Yeah. Yeah. So the other questions were, Leanne did try and get back in. I'm not quite sure what happened to her. Hope she's okay. Yeah, if you had to double revenue with half the time, what would you prioritize? I think revenue is a really big topic, and I think a lot of the time we don't talk about money enough. So yeah, has anyone got any thoughts on that one?
So can we read that question again?
If you had to double revenue with half the time, what would you prioritize?
I think for me, being where I am now is prioritizing the fact of more partnership working. Because I think that's important, because it generates more income and solid income coming in, rather than you trying to get these like trying to put on the workshops by yourself or whatever it may be, but look to do more partnership work with the right and key people that's already got capacity, that's already got the finances, whatever you may need. Yeah, just look to do more collaboration work, because it brings in a higher return.
I think I think systems are really important. Like just having like the foundations right, so that if you have less time, there's less things to worry about, because okay, that person emails me, it gets collected, it goes to the right place. Like you have all that kind of set up. I'd focus on looking at that to then be like, okay, once it's done, it's done, and then you can kind of move on from there.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that comes back to, like, when you talk about systems, well, Leanne's dropped off now, but processes and automation. And I think I spoke about that in the last session, that for the next, yeah, okay, I am getting things done, but my focus over the next, it's 5 months now, is to understand automation really well, so that I can apply it to what the projects that I'm doing, and things can be happening. I don't need to do it because I've learned how to get systems to do it. And that just takes shutting down, closing down on, things that I'm not used to. It's like a new subject. It's something new, something like it's like can be a bit stressful actually, when you just don't know anything. Like when you talk about unconscious competence, and then it moves through to conscious competence, which I think is more painful, because like, this is what I want to do, but I'm incompetent at it at the moment, and I want to improve. So it's like, if you stick at it, you do move to conscious competence, which is hopefully 6 months I'll be there. Hey, Leanne. You're muted, Lee.
Like all 4 of them apply for me in my new job, but in terms of recess, one thing that I need to do is network more. It's just something I find so uncomfortable, believe it or not. I just a room full of people, and I'm like, literally, that is probably 50% of my new job as well. But yeah, probably network and not do that thing where you just stand with the people and really get out there and get into some conversations, because I suppose the positive side of it is you do find that you've got connections in unexpected industries and places. But yeah, it's just the comfort of like not having to keep selling yourself. I don't really enjoy that part. I know what Recess does as a service. Most companies need it. Most individuals need governance and assurance. But having to convince somebody, like, I don't know, I'm from East London. I'm just like, well, don't have it and find out what happens. That's basically the opposite, I'm like, you think you don't need me, you'll find out that you do. I don't enjoy selling myself. Like, you either need me or you don't. But I suppose I need to get more comfortable with it. One thing I have become comfortable with is rejection, because like you said, if they don't want to pay for me, you're not my client. But I'm comfortable with that, because I'm like, that's more your that's more your speed. Then go and find someone. And, you know, like my grandparents always say, you know, you buy cheap, you buy twice. So you can pay me what it's worth and I can do it properly for you one time, or you can pay that person and I've got to come and tidy it up and I'm going to charge you double. So yeah, don't know if that answered your question, but I've always got an anecdote.
Yeah, I think as well, just with regard to that networking, I think that's a really powerful point that you brought out there, because if I'm networking and I'm with people that I know, then we're networking. We're just catching up. Whereas there isn't the growth there. It's about, okay, we've come into the venue together, see you in an hour, and then, you know, go and do what we need to go and do individually. That could be something sort of around it. Portia, I've definitely seen you do that very well. Just saying.
You know what? When it comes to networking, and especially like we could hang out and we're just chilling with as friends, but when it comes to networking, we all know why we're here. You know, to get an exchange of contact, to get this person to come and speak at this event, or to get this, you know, potential name that we need. Let's just get the job done. Like, and that's my mentality when I go to these working things, because there's a purpose behind it. So yeah, so sometimes you just have to like cringe up your toes, cringe up your hands, whatever it is, you know, why you feel nervous about doing it, and just say, you know what, it's for the bigger purpose. You know, it's to get recess like known in this place, or you know. So yeah, just think of the bigger goal, like, because I always say it's bigger. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. You understand? It's the community that I'm serving. It's the children that I'm trying to make a difference with, the families that I'm trying to help out there. So it's always bigger than me. And in that, it's helping me to grow resilience. It's helping me to grow clarity to, you know, just knowing the end goal, basically. So,
And
That's
one
really good
thing,
advice, Portia. Thank you.
yeah, I was just gonna say it is good advice, but one thing as well, like I can relate to Leanne, is if someone says, "Can we go and tell him about yourself?" I'm like, "Hi," like it's just so wet, because I'm just like, just get to know me and then it will be fine, you know. But actually, that's 2 minutes where I could say something but I don't want to seem like I'm not being myself. It's a weird, I don't know, it's a strange sort of feeling that I get, where I like things to grow organically. So yeah, go ahead, Laverne. I'm just waffling on
No,
now.
no,
Just
no, no,
having a
you're not. I
moment.
was just gonna say, I think
Mm,
that sometimes you need to find a friend who is comfortable talking and knows, so you both have a business or they know your business really well. Because what Portia's great at is talking to people, and starting the conversation. But she's really good also including you in the conversation with other people. So that way you're also talking, and then you talk about yourself, and Portia talking about herself. So it's like it kind of like it's mutual. But I think what Portia said is right. If you go in with the mindset of we're networking, we're not here to like, we could chat afterwards, we'll go to a cafe afterwards and debrief, but we're here to make connections, and then you could do it together. I don't think there's anything wrong doing it as a pair. I think more than two would scare people, but there's nothing wrong with doing it as a pair and going along. And sometimes you could sell each other stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't always have to be the one to start the conversation about you if you're uncomfortable in that. You know, the other person can do it, and then, you know, as you start doing, I might not be making sense, but as you start doing it, I think you get more comfortable. I know I got more comfortable speaking out when I was out in public because of Portia. Because
well,
Portia
you're
finds it.
really good at it
I
as
don't want to
well.
speak for you, but it's quite natural for you on the outside.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
And
guys, sorry.
just to add on to that, in terms of talking about ourselves, it's not doesn't come natural for everyone. And something my sister said. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. Your 2-minute elevator pitch. So if you were to jump into an elevator with somebody, what would you say? And then when she asked me what mine was, it's like, I know what I do, I know what I deliver, but I didn't have my 1 minute or 2-minute pitch. And I said, what is yours? And she could reel off it is her starter. It's a conversation starter. So her 1-minute pitch, if she was to meet somebody, they would know what she does, what she delivers, what sector she's able to deliver it for. But also she's moved into that, place where it doesn't matter what sector she works with, it transcends sectors. So she's able to say, this is what I deliver, this is the work that I do, these are the projects that I've worked in that 1 minute. She's able to deliver that. So for me, I think it's maybe one of those things that we should sharpen. Maybe go and find your summary. Could be like, you know how we've got LinkedIn summaries and summaries on top of our CVs. It's kind of like actually believing that summary and actually making it work for you. Does it actually convey what you do? Does it actually convey your skill? Does it convey how you can help that company? So maybe if we're to hone on to that, like 1 or 2 minute elevator pitch, and then it would be the thing that you go into networking with, and hopefully it will help you break the ice and start talking about yourself without stuttering or without thinking about what you do, even though you know what you do and you know your program, you know your you know your business. So just adding that one bit there.
Kemi, do you think we could do that for the next one? That could be cool.
So I was about to say, shall we open up with that next time?
I think so.
Yeah.
And no one's
No
allowed to laugh
pressure.
at me.
No pressure.
Don't stall me out, Ted. Don't stall me.
But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think that's a brilliant idea. I was just thinking the same thing, and that's why I know we're all in alignment, because I was like, So we're rounding up now for time. Has anyone got any final comments, anything that has been of use to them today that they're going to take away? Any actions that you're going to do between now and meeting?
I was just gonna say one more thing regarding the networking thing. Yeah, I remember when I first started, and like you, Leanne, like I didn't really want to go to these things if I'm being honest, like because you're starting off fresh, you got people of all different industries, and you're kind of scared to say what you want to say or whatever it may be. But I purposely like put in my diary like once a month I'll go to a networking meeting, and that really kind of helped, with the confidence and what I was telling people that I'm doing. So yeah, that's another way to, just help with that as well. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's being intentional, isn't it? That's being yeah, I like that.
Can you share the questions, Kemi? Because it'd be really good. I was walking back, so I couldn't answer, but it'd be really good to reflect on them because they are a good set of questions.
Yeah, sure. They're on your email, Lee, but I've sent it through about 4 o'clock today, so that might be
thank you.
why. And what I'll do, well, I just wanted to get some feedback on like the format of it. We've said that could be like our little starter activity next time, our 2-minute elevator pitch, which I'm already anxious about. No, I'm not. I'll be fine. Yeah, so we can do that like to start off, and then how do you feel about the questions? Are they of use to you, or do you think that it might be better to just hone in on 1 or 2 businesses or flip it up a bit?
I thought they were good. They're very reflective questions, and they give you, I think you need to take time out to think about them. I'll probably do it over my lunch and probably try and tackle one a day, but they're definitely things you need to think about and that to drive you forward, because there are all things that we do that we shouldn't be doing or sit in our safety. But I think on that point, I just feel like this year you just got to be as delusional as possible and just really, really go for it, because there are people, and it's all the cliches. I want to start an account just called cliches, because that is just life. There are people half, if not less or zero talented than you that are making more money, that are working 2 days a week, all because they just dare to believe. And if you can believe and you've actually got the skills to back it up, can you imagine? let's just go for it. Like, no more
Yeah.
playing small, because there are other people out there who aren't, and they're getting through it.
Love that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think this was when it first started. I was like, I wasn't sure where it was going because I wasn't on the last one, but as like as it went in, I like the fact of coaching, like where it's going, because it's coaching us to, as business women, to just do better, you know, and like Leanne said, be reflective of our practice as well, in order to know what we need to strengthen up on, and you know what we need to do less of, and so forth. So yeah, I thought it was a great session in terms of the questions as well. Very effective, 100%.
Thanks, Posh. Okay, useful. Okay, so I know that we've not really, because this is just session 4, right? I think there is definitely a space. If anybody wanted to bring an idea, they're like, I just want everyone to hear what I've got to say. You need 20 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever. Just email and let me know, and then or phone me and let me know, and then we can make time for that. But I think the coaching style of it, everyone's just going to work at their own pace. We're all at different stages, and it's personal to you. You share as much or as little as you want to, and then we're learning from each other as well.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. It's 10 past now. Yeah.
Thank you so
Um,
much for taking the time, Kemi. Those questions were very thought-provoking. No, it was good. Like, yeah, they were really thought-provoking. So I appreciate that.
thank you.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you
we
very
really,
much.
I really appreciate you all taking time, you know, to just be here and be exchanging ideas and be exchanging notes and things we've learned. And yeah, that is a lot. I know we're all coming from different sectors, but just the fact that we're able to talk about the different things that we face and, you know, be able to pick each other's brains, it's really, really great. So thank you so much, Kemi, for sharing this, and thank you, ladies, for joining.
Have a wonderful rest of the evening.
Okay.
And see you guys
Yeah.
soon. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of
Bye.
the week.
Bye.
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 Bye.